Hello everybody. In today's video, I'm going to be explaining how the Astral and Umbral shrines work in this new season event. So let's get right into it. So the Astral Shrine is a shrine for the top players in the game. If you're a small player, then don't even think about entering the shrine because it's extremely difficult to enter the shrine. Now, before you even enter the shrine, you have to first defeat these shadow guardians that are guarding the shrine. And the shadow guardians will be the troops of a player that's really strong who just left the shrine. So right now you can see there are 1.5 million troops guarding this shrine. So there's no way for any small player to enter the shrine. Now, the cool thing about this shrine is that if you manage to occupy this shrine the longest, you'll actually get 10 million free kill points, and you'll also get this Ray of Glory Turf Illusion, but it only lasts for 1 day, and I'm not really sure what buffs it gives, but since all other illusions give you 1% crew attack, I'm assuming that this illusion will also give you 1% crew attack. Also, the second and third place will get 5 million and 3 million kill points, respectively. Also, the rewards for doing waves in this shrine are slightly higher. So the rewards up to wave 20 are the exact same for both the Astral and Umbral shrines. However, for the Astral shrine from wave 21, you start getting 850,000 points every single wave, all the way up to wave 60. However, at the Umbral shrine, after wave 20, the points that you get will slowly decrease. For 21, 22, and 23, you'll actually get more points than the Astral Shrine, but from wave 24 onwards, you'll start getting less points in the Astral Shrine, and eventually at wave 50 and 51, you'll only be getting 20,000 points per wave, while in the Astral Shrine, you're getting 850,000 points per wave. So that's the main difference between the Astral and Umbral Shrines. Also, these guards that you see here will be the guards of the last player that occupied the shrine. So let's say if I enter the shrine right after reset and then I exit the shrine, my troops that I placed inside the shrine will be guarding that shrine till somebody else comes in and attacks my troops and defeats them. And once that happens, and once they exit the shrine, then their troops will be guarding the shrine, and so on. Now, these guards will decay over time. So initially, they'll be at 100%. So if it's 1.5 million, you'll have the full 1.5 million guarding the shrine. But after 4 hours, their number will go down to 80%. That is, it'll go from 1.5 million to 1.2 million. And then after 5 hours, it'll go down to 40%. So from 1.5 million, it'll go down to 600,000. But once it hits 40%, it's going to stay at 40% till someone else defeats these guards. Now, you can also replenish these troops if you are the one guarding the shrine. So let's say, for example, my troops drop to 40%, so they go from 1.5 million to 600,000. Now, if I send 1.5 million troops inside the shrine again, the timer will reset and the guards will go back to 1.5 million. Also, right after reset, these guards will disappear and they'll be replaced with some NPC guards till someone else enters the shrine and takes the shrine. Also, if you're the one guarding the shrine and someone attacks you and kills your troops, you will not lose any power because those troops that are guarding the shrine are clones of your troops and not your actual troops. However, the person attacking you will lose power because they're using their real troops. So that is pretty much all there is about the Astral Shrine. I don't recommend entering the shrine because it's only for the biggest players in the game. If you're a normal player, you should try to get one of these Umbral Shrines because they're much easier to do. Now, in these Umbral Shrines, they work similar to the ward rails of other seasons. However, the only new feature in these Umbral shrines is that you can have these lost treasures that show up from time to time. Now, whenever these show up next to the center, all you have to do is send like one biker to these treasures, and your goal is to hold this treasure for 20 seconds. Once the 20-second cooldown ends, you'll get 10,000 kill points for collecting the treasure. However, if somebody attacks you during these 20 seconds and you lose, then the 20-second cooldown will reset, which means that they'll have to hold it for another 20 seconds and your troops will be sent back home. Also, the losses on these treasure sites are real, so I recommend only using a few troops to get these treasures. Do not use a full march to get these treasures, otherwise you could lose a lot of troops, and it doesn't make sense to lose a lot of troops if you're only getting 10,000 kill points per treasure. Also, 10,000 kill points is very little, so I really don't think it's worth collecting these treasures, especially if there's a lot of competition for these treasures in your map. You're gonna have to collect 5,000 of these treasures to get the 50 million kill point objective, which seems to be very time consuming. So over here you can see there's a treasure. I'm gonna try to collect it. I'll only send one biker to the treasure. And now you'll notice there's a 20-second cooldown. So if somebody attacks me during this cooldown, then the cooldown is going to reset and my troops are going to be sent back. However, if the 20-second cooldown ends and nobody attacks me, then I'll get this treasure. Yep, so that is how you collect treasures in this event. Again, I don't really recommend doing this because it's going to be very time consuming to get your kill points by simply doing this. It's better to just enter the wardrobes and try to get some kills that way. Also, yesterday there was a bug where some players who managed to finish level 60 in the Astral Shrine were able to set shadow guards in the Umbral Shrine as well, making it impossible for small players to enter the Umbral Shrine. However, that bug has been fixed, so now that doesn't happen anymore. Now only the Astral Shrines will be guarded by shadow guards and the Umbral Shrines will be free for everyone to enter. So those were all the changes that were made in this new season for the war drills. Everything else for the war drills remains pretty much the same. There's ranking rewards as usual, and you get kill points the same way as before. So that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about in this video. If you guys have any questions, then feel free to leave them in the comments down below. Before I end this video, I'd like to thank all of my patrons for the support. To support me, you can find my Patreon link in the description below. Thanks for watching the video, guys, and I will see y'all in the next one.